Today we have a competition between two of the most popular off-road ready crossovers you can buy. On this side we have the Subaru Forester Wilderness, and on this side we have the Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road. Which one can make it up our winter test hill? We're going to find out right now on Driving Sports TV. The Subaru Forester and Toyota RAV4 have been perennial favorites for buyers that are looking to answer the call of the wild. With the new Wilderness and TRD off-road trims, the manufacturers have certainly kicked things up a notch. Today we're going to put each of these to the test to see which one can climb all the way to the top of our test hill. And I'm going to start with the Subaru. This is a 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness. Like other Wilderness trims, this Forester has been enhanced with 9.2 inches of ground clearance, all-terrain tires, off-road tuned suspension, a trail camera, additional recovery points, and a factory skid plate. Approach, departure, and breakover are all improved over the standard Forester, but the standard one is actually quite good too. The Subaru is powered by a 2.5-liter Boxer 4-cylinder engine, producing up to 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to a CVT with a wider ratio and revised final drive. An extra transmission cooler is also included. Symmetrical all-wheel drive is standard, and here it's enhanced with Subaru's dual X-Mode off-road programs. Prices you see it here with no extra options, $33,945 US including destination. So you're probably wondering why we chose to do the Subaru first. And the reasons is really just a matter of clearances. Now, in a previous video where we put these two vehicles against each other at the Tahuya Off-Road Park, we had clearance issues with the Toyota over the Subaru. So because this Subaru has more ground clearance and because we have a thicker aftermarket skid plate, we figured it would be the right guinea pig to use. So here we go. I'm going to put it in drive, putting it into snow dirt, which is otherwise known as X-Mode Type 1. This is the X-Mode that is on most vehicles. And what X-Mode will do is it'll apply individual wheel braking as necessary, because that's normally where power would leach out of the system. What it'll do is it'll apply a brake to an individual wheel so that that power can then go back into the system. And of course, with symmetrical all-wheel drive, this is a full-time all-wheel drive system. There is no completely off. When I tip in the throttle, all-wheel drive. When I floor it on the freeway, all-wheel drive. And right here, all-wheel drive. Now this is a fairly steep climb, so this is about as steep as you would ever find in the real world, outside of trails and driveways. This is currently at about a 7-degree climb. I think it peaks out at around 10 degrees. And so far, this Subaru is just a tank. And I spoke too soon. Now, the air pressures we do have on this are stock right now. They are currently at, I think, 30 PSI all around. Let's check. I can just check the little gauge cluster there. Oh, they haven't turned on because we haven't driven far enough. Let's get a little momentum in it. Now, this is snow and ice on top of gravel. So once we actually get past the snow, we get to the ice, we go through the ice, we then hit a little gravel, which itself does not have a ton of traction. But it is very difficult. So we actually did this yesterday too in the Ford Raptor, the Bronco Raptor. So you will note that there's actually some tire tracks here. Yeah, Bronco Raptor tire tracks. What? It's making it up the first bit of climb. We're at 10 degrees right there. Come on, you gotta do it. Oh, so close. Basically, when it hits 10 degrees, that's when things get really kind of difficult. So I'm gonna reset, push forward, a little momentum to that spot. Yes, X-Mode is killing it. We got one more leg to do here before we completely claim victory though. Wow, X-Mode doing a phenomenal job here. So that first section is ice and snow on top of gravel. Now we have ice and snow on top of mud. There is no gravel on this portion of the road. So Once we get past the slippery stuff, yeah, then we find more slippery stuff. This is a slightly less of an angle though, so I'm expecting if we did that, we should be okay here. Fingers crossed. Now I am going to keep this in snow dirt, drive, and I think we're going to keep some momentum through this mud, so let's floor it. Oh yeah. Check clearances. Ooh, ooh. Now those big lumps of snow on the side look all soft and fluffy. They're not. They're as hard as rocks. They are large chunks of ice, so we do not want to hit them. Just keeping my foot in it, and that's how you deal with Subaru symmetrical drive and all of these brake vectoring type systems. You want to keep your foot in it. Oh yeah, there we go, there we go. And we did it. Nice. Okay, so far this one has taken the victory, but we still have to try the Toyota. And while we go down, we can try out the hill descent control system, which is also built into X mode. And if the Toyota gets up this hill, well, then we have a tiebreaker. The next hill over, it's got a lot more snow on it. It's a lot more treacherous. So here we go. I'm just gonna go ease it down. It's funny how trenches kind of have their way with you. Okay, we have snow dirt mode on, and if I take my foot off the throttle at whatever speed I'm going, the hill descent control system should kick in. Let's see, there we go. The hill descent, if you're going slow enough, if you go too fast, it doesn't kick in. But at about, I'm probably doing about 3 miles per hour here, it's letting us down easy. It's braking individual wheels so that we can basically maintain traction on the downhill portion of the drive. Now, how well does the Toyota do? Now, there are a couple downsides with the Toyota. First off, the clearances aren't quite as good as the Subaru. Also, the tires are not peak rated, even though they are all terrains, and yes, they are Wild Peaks. They are an OEM version of the Wild Peak that is not 3-peak rated, which means it is not rated for deep snow. That might be the biggest factor here. Well, let's change vehicles and find out. Now let's see if the Toyota can do any better. This is a 2022 Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road. It features specially tuned suspension, 8.6 inches of ground clearance, a skid plate, and all-terrain tires, all as standard equipment. Under the hood is a durable and economical 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, producing up to 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. This is connected to a standard 8-speed automatic transmission. Power goes to all 4 wheels with Toyota's dynamic torque vectoring all-wheel drive system, enhanced with multi-terrain select off-road programs. As you see it here with tech and winter packages, you're looking at $40,460 US, including destination. So here we are in the RAV4 TRD Off-Road. Now, for the name TRD on this, you would expect this to do great things because, of course, the 4Runner TRD, the Sequoia TRD, they're all extremely capable vehicles. So does this RAV4 get to join its cousins in awesomeness? Let's find out. So this has more of an overhang in the front. It has lower ground clearance overall. It does have a front skid plate, which is good. The tires are not 3-peak rated. Now, a 3-peak weight rating does not make them super tires. It really doesn't. You really need a proper winter tire for conditions like this. However, in most circumstances, manufacturers will not let us change the tires of a vehicle. So we are stuck with what we got. Also, here in the Pacific Northwest, I see people do it all the time. They buy a vehicle, they then go up to the mountain passes, like almost instantaneous, because, you know, skiing's like 30 minutes away from Seattle. 40, okay, fine. This is not that unusual. Should you have winter tires? Yes, 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 yes. However, this is what we got. This is what we're doing. So as far as setup goes, even though this has a mud sand setting and a rock setting, clearly that's not what we're really dealing with here. We are dealing with snow, so I think I would be remiss if I didn't start with the snow option. So snow will immediately push power to the back. Like the Subaru, this is a brake vectoring type system in that it uses a clutch in the middle to shift power front to back. It then uses individual brakes to shift power around the rest of the system, so that in the event of a wheel spinning, I gotta turn off those sensors. Where are those sensors? Anyway, as I was saying, there's a steering wheel warmer. Subaru doesn't have that. Let's turn that off. Yeah, it's funny, if you get the Forester Wilderness, it does not have a steering wheel warmer. You can get it on other trims though. It's the weirdest thing. Anyway, I am of course driving okay to mute temporarily. Ah, that's where it is. You have to hit it while it's nagging you. So anyway, in snow mode here, got it. In snow mode, it'll shift power to the back immediately. It'll also reduce our power on tip in of throttle so that we don't spin the tires. Because once you start doing that, that's actually when you start to lose grip. Now, as we saw in the Subaru, which has an inclinometer, the steepest parts of this drive are 10 degrees, and that even gave the Subaru a little bit of a problem. So we're gonna back up there. This is, I think, the same spot where the Subaru had a little bit of a hang up. And we're gonna charge through it. Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of a bump there. Now this is snow and ice on top of gravel. So far, it's doing fantastic. Now, one nice thing about this particular trim is it has a dual clutched rear drive unit, in that it doesn't just use wheel braking, it'll also proactively put power to individual rear wheels, which is pretty cool. It also kind of acts as a pseudo locker when it feels it needs to, but there's no button to override that like Ford includes in their vehicles. Wow, that was no drama. No drama. Of course, it only gets harder from here. So far, snow mode has just done an amazing job of shifting power when I need it, getting through all the tough conditions. We just needed one momentum push. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the Subaru's already been through here, which does make the tracking a little bit easier for the Toyota. Toyota has just a love affair with beeps. Too many beeps, okay? Oh, are we gonna get this? I feel like it's struggling, but on the other hand, I'm not worried. I feel it's gonna get up this climb, no problem at all. This section, beep. This section, of course, is snow covered on top of mud, so it's a little bit more challenging than that lower section, but again, the Toyota is doing just fine. Okay, well, we made it to the top of what I thought would be a challenge for at least one of these. So in real world conditions, both the Toyota and the Subaru did great. You might be asking, do we have a harder challenge next? Yes, of course we do. This is Driving Sports TV. This is what we do. Oh, can I also mention this car is rubbing this ice way more than the Subaru did. That inch of clearance can make all the difference. Does this have downhill assist? Yes, there's a button right there for it. I release my pedal off and it will ease me down without me having to put my foot on the brake at all. It'll individually brake the wheels to keep us nicely aligned, and there we go. Is that a feature I ever use? Not really, but it is there for people who lack the confidence in tricky situations. Okay, now let's move on to the finale. So this is the next challenge. This is a very steep, very long hill. It is lightly plowed, but we did not plow it as nicely as the other hill. What we're dealing with here is, of course, ice and snow. We've got layers of it. And then underneath that, there's more mud than there is gravel. In fact, there's like hardly any gravel at all on this road. I think it was graveled like 10 years ago. So it's mostly muddy, watery runoff. Because of that, we have a lot of ice in spots. Very thick ice on this side, very little ice on this side. That means we have mixed traction situations. We also have the potential for the vehicle to slide into the ditch on this side. I'm gonna look for that. Now, we did take the Ford Bronco Raptor up this same course yesterday, and those are the tracks that you are seeing here. And the Bronco Raptor did have some issues here, but the weather conditions were actually very different yesterday. And weather can make all the difference in whether or not you're successful or not. So if the Subaru gets up this hill, can you say it's as good as a Bronco Raptor? No, clearly that's ridiculous. However, it will still be impressive if we get either of these little crossovers up this climb. Okay, let's do it. this will either be great or it'll be a catastrophe. I don't think there's going to be any middle here. So let's see what we can do. So I am seeing that on the left side, it's still muddy and wet. On the right side, it's rock hard ice. That is definitely going to cause a weird traction situation. And I need to make a decision here if I'm going to do snow dirt or if I'm going to do deep snow and mud. Now, when we took the Bronco Raptor up here last time, ultimately we needed a lot of wheel spin. We needed to air down the tires. And those were honking 37-inch KO2s. So, yeah, let's give it a try. Come on, little Subaru, do us proud. So momentum is king. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch into deep snow mud because that's gonna add additional wheel spin, which I think we will need, especially in some of these really rough sections. Oh, that's a clearance issue for the RAV4. Oh, are we doing it? Yes! We are doing it so far. Oh boy, this is almost where we had to dig out the Bronco. So I'm going to try to stay in the Bronco's track so I don't get stuck and pulled into that ditch. And so far, I'm not doing anything. The Subaru is killing it. Oh, there's another ditch. Oh, let's not commit into that ditch. That would be a problem. Almost bit it. So even with the Bronco, we had to cut far right to get on top of the ice and not into the ditch, because otherwise the ice is just naturally wanting to throw us in that direction. Let's see if we can get momentum to get up on this ledge. No, if we don't get on this ledge, we are not making it. So we need a little momentum here. I did bring a shovel. Should I break the shovel out? Getting a sense of deja vu here. Oh, let's give it a try without the shovel. Can we get up? Ah! Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Ah! No. We're just gonna dig in the ditch. And if we put the wheel in the ditch, we're gonna end up high centered because that is enough ice. I mean, that is like a cliff of ice. Let's go back a little further, see if we can get up on this ledge. Okay, you know what? Drive smarter. I feel if we can get past this ledge, we'll be fine. Ah, ice. Where can I open my door even? Oh boy. Let's get into a spot where I can open my door. We'll get back. Oop, bump the back. Okay. Well, at least I can open my door now. Hey, oh, look at that. Ah. Wow, okay. Let's see how we're doing here. Ah. I think if we can clear some of this, get up on this ledge, and this is where I kept bottoming out. So if I can chip that away, oh my gosh, that's hard. So good news, all the body panels are still attached. Oh, shut up. Seatbelt. Okay, give this another try. If I can move around. Maybe I was overly optimistic here. Just leave throttle in. Now the issue here is also, I don't want to rotate my tires over 25 because at that point, X mode kicks off. Oh boy, am I stuck where I was parked? Okay, let me check the situation out here. Ah, ice. Oh, I'm just digging myself in a hole. Okay, it's a lot of work. See if we can back out of our hole. the hole which we dug for ourselves. Now we're all the way to the mud. The sad part is, mud does not have any more traction than snow. Hole! Oh yeah, we got this. And we continue our adventure. Can I get up on the ice? No! I simply can't get up on the ice. So this is where you might ask, hey, why don't you air down? We're not going to today. And the reason is that is not something a normal person would do. I did lift the throttle, I shouldn't have, but I was heading toward the cliff. So give me a little bit of credit here, okay? And thrust. Yes, I do not want to back down this hill. Woo! Yes! Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's the wrong trench. That's the cameraman trench. Sorry, Nick. Okay, here we go. We got this. Let's see if we can keep this party going. And fully oh, that's a lot of snow there. Okay, let's be realistic here. I don't know if this is going to make it up this last leg, because this is super steep, super icy, super muddy, and this is the part where the plow never came. All this markings that you're seeing are actually from the Bronco. Come on, I'm just going to lay the throttle in, keep speed down. Oh, and then it kicks in. Let's try snow dirt, which will be a little more conservative, won't spin the tires as much. Back up a little bit here. Now let's do this. I really just want to get up there so I can turn around. Okay, there we go. Just keep the throttle light, and yes! We made it to the landing and rotated the vehicle. Yes! Whew, I don't have to back down after all. Ooh, that's a lot of snow. So the one thing I'm going to say about the RAV4 is it does not have such a big plate on the front. And the reason why we put this primitive racing plate on the front, which is way thicker than the stock aluminum plate, simply because we have this vehicle loaned to us for 3.5 months. And in that period of time, we're going to do some stuff that's a bit more extreme than we would do with a press vehicle. So that is the part one of several things we're going to be doing to this vehicle over the next few episodes. So yeah, we didn't really want to take this vehicle all the way back to stock just for comparison. Can I get back down? Okay, momentum. Just keep momentum, even if I'm in the ditch. Momentum is fine. Okay, just keep this going. Those are the holes I was stuck in earlier. Boy, getting down is almost sketchier than going up. Okay, now it's time for the RAV4 and all of its beeping to assault me. No, now it's time for the RAV4 to tackle the same challenge. Now this has a lot of really big bumps, so we have to maintain momentum. So to do that, I'm actually going to go, what do you want to watch? Do you want to see snow mode, or do you want to see mud and sand? Snow mode, we did it on the other one. Let's see what mud and sand does this time. That should be equivalent to the Type 2 X mode in that it has extra wheel spin to help churn through challenging situations. So that kind of puts these two vehicles on par. So I got a nice little gauge cluster here showing me my power distribution when it's not getting wigged out from the parking sensors triggering like mad. We are scraping a lot because of almost an inch less of ground clearance, not quite, and yeah, that can make a difference. Like the Subaru, we're at stock tire pressures here. We're not doing anything crazy. and we're just going to try to make it up. Now we have the one advantage of us, I've already cleared a section of the course to get the Subaru through. Also, we have Subaru tracks to help us. But also, like this, we have a big Subaru hole also to hinder us. So, oh, good, I just threaded those tracks. Let's try to keep this up on the right. Oh, I was trying to stay up on the ice, and instead I got crossed up. Okay. Hey, look at that, another beep. Thank you, Toyota. Just gonna, okay, too much wheel spin. So let's put it into snow mode, try to ease ourselves out of this without getting in a worse situation. Oh, thank you, Toyota. I haven't had a beep in a couple minutes. Wow, snow mode actually works really well. Got us right through that. Okay, snow mode is the mode, apparently. Oh, high centering right there on ice. Oof. Oh, for the love of God, I'm already stressed as it is. Quit bugging me. Every time that comes up, I'm hitting OK, which should clear that alert. That's actually how you mute it. But it mutes it just until the next time it triggers, which is super annoying. If I owned this, I'd probably know where to turn that off, but there is no place that is obvious here. Actually, I got to turn it off. Let's see if I can go into a menu here. Let's go to settings. There we go, parking alerts off. Thank God. Okay, let's see if we can get through here without creating more chaos for ourselves. Come on. I'm hearing the braking system work as it's shifting that power around, or at least trying to. Can get onto a little bit more traction here. As I drag the bodywork on the ice. Never a good thing. Okay, and go. Get a little momentum to get up this hump. Come on, fake Wild Peaks. Actually, OEM Wild Peaks. They are made by Falcon, so they're not really fakes. But they are OEM and they're not peak rated like the real ones. Come on, let's go. Can we do this? I'm just keeping the throttle in. That's how you use this system, and it's trying to figure out traction, and it's got none. I'm not feeling like we're making much progress here. At some point, we're going to throw the towel in. Of course, I was almost ready to throw the towel in with the Subaru, and then it decided to go ahead and win. I'm feeling like this is, oh, sorry. Now, unlike the Subaru's issue where there was a specific feature I wasn't able to get over, the problem here is merely the traction. I'm not able, it pushed the power, and I ended up in a ditch. Oh boy. I'm in a ditch. Yeah, I know when I'm stuck. That's I don't think this is necessarily a try to go forward and back to get yourself out of it type of situation. Oh, it almost gave that time. That actually felt pretty good. Yeah, you gonna do it? I'm just keeping the throttle in, and it's sorting it out, kind of digging us out a little bit with this little steering maneuver, keeping the throttle low. So I'm just keeping it about 10% of throttle, and it's doing everything to move that power around best it can. Feel like we're actually going to get out of this. What? We did! Impressive, Toyota. Can we get through that, though? No, we still need to go backwards. We're still not quite to clearing yet. Ugh. And I think we're going even deeper in the... that's worse. That's worse. Hey, sideways. Did I mention there's a cliff right there? Yeah. Okay, I would love to reverse this, but there's no place to reverse to. Let me see what we got going on here, okay? Hey, I can open the door. That's nice. Holy crap. Oh! That was way harder than I thought it was going to be. Oh! This is super soft back here. Yeah. That's soft. and then we're hitting the bodywork up there. Shovel time! So in case you're wondering why I didn't just go down and get the Forester and put a tow strap on this and yank it out. First off, I gave the Forester one shovel, so I'm going to give this one shovel. Also, there's no attachment points on this vehicle for towing. Thank God I brought a shovel. Every once in a while I forget, and that's a very long day at the office. I need a break. Okay, let's do this. So we're going to keep it in snow mode. Change its display so I can see the all-wheel drive system functioning. Whew. Now I'm just trying to get out of my ditches. Okay, easy. We're going to do like a multi-point turn here, and we're going to get completely reset before I continue on. So I can see that the wheel braking is trying to do its thing, but there's just no grip. Back up just a little. It's tricky to back up because, ooh, that's pretty good. Okay, now I've made progress. A little less ditch in my life. Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm kind of aligned almost. Still have that ditch on my left though. So let's try to get out of here without making it worse. Ah, recovery done. Whew. Okay. Time for another charge. So the Subaru got one recovery, kind of, it wasn't as bad as this. And then I did one more charge. It got through the charge, but I'm gonna keep it in snow mode, I think, because I actually got stuck. If I don't recall, I don't think I was in snow mode at the time. Stay to the right. Oh, on top of the ice. Yes, yes. RAV4, RAV4, RAV4. What? Okay, I take back any and everything that I might have ever said negative about this vehicle. It can perform when it needs to. I can't believe it made it all this way. That was kind of expected, right? Let's get it turned around. Ooh, that's... I think with snow, it doesn't always put you where you want it. And yeah, there is still that cliff behind me. And there we go. Oof. Oh. So, if snow is where you plan to use your all-wheel drive, then I'd say that either the Subaru or the Toyota are a great choice. I mean, the Subaru got up, this one got up. This one actually has a few more drive modes because it has those two off-road modes plus a snow mode, where the Subaru has two off-road / snow modes. They both did it very different, and it's hard for you to kind of experience that without actually being in the vehicle, but I could really feel the all-wheel braking really doing a lot here, but I could feel a lot more balance. You know, really, symmetrical all-wheel drive, it just has a very unique feel to it. And I think that, you know, at the end of the day, the biggest reason why I would still pick the Forester is simply value. You look at the price of this one, it is way more expensive than the Subaru. However, you do get the power trunk, which I don't love, but it's okay. Some people want that. You get the heated steering wheel, you get the heated and cooled seats, and of course, you get something that says Toyota with the TRD badging. A lot of people pay a lot of money for that. Which one would you pick? Post a comment below. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share videos. We make them for you, and I hope you enjoy them. Now I just need to get back down this without stuffing it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.